Feature Friday.
The freshest. All right, first times. I love first times. They always hit hard because, your suggestions are fire. But this is Michael Dutchi Libranda performing Binalewala
Binalewala.
live on Wish.
Apparently, this is quite heartfelt. So let's give this a watch. Go on.
There's no subtitles, but we're about to look it up.
We will. I have forgotten in the last few ones to check out the lyrics at the end.
Guess we get too excited
about
the music.
So let's give it a listen, and then I'll try and find the lyrics at the end, and then for those that can't speak like us, I'll do a breakdown at the end. Is it just him or
I think it's
just Michael?
I think it might be just him, yeah.
Dutchi Libranda. I mean, what a name, dude.
It is a cool friggin' name.
Wish 107.
Ooh, it's in the same the key wasn't the same.
Jesus Christ,
same notes as the tag. Listen.
It's a cue for entry.
What?
That's the cue for entry for the automated voice.
Wish.
Ooh.
May-ari ng damdamin ng minamahal ko.
Ooh, okay.
Fucking felt I was gonna cry.
Yeah.
Pakisabing na lang
Nice.
na wag nang mag-alala at okay lang ako.
Imagine Magnus Heaven. With them,
Sabi
they have the same kind of vocal tonality. I don't know why.
Magnus Haven.
Yeah, Magnus Haven. Yeah, they would be good. Raji, yeah. Raji has
singer,
kind of similar tonality.
That would be a good
It
collaboration.
would be so good.
It would be a great collab. I wonder, yeah.
What happened there?
My manlyhood left. That's what happened there. I wonder, yeah, where Michael, it's kind of like if this is maybe the first big song. But you know what's interesting is that he does have one of those vocal tonalities, which you want to listen to when you're
really
sad.
heartbroken.
Yeah, and you're heartbroken. Like I used to say that all the time. It's like, what do you do when you're sad? People sometimes ask me, so what do you do when you're sad and stuff? Because people seem to think I'm always happy. Like I'm always like this, but sometimes I'm like this. Right? So when I'm like
that's
that,
not sad, bro.
that's just pissed. But when I am, I barely get sad. But if I am in the mood, if I am in the mood of getting sad, I just play the most heartfelt, heartbroken, fucking depressing songs, and then I just sulk. I just stay there and I melt.
Melt in the couch.
Yeah.
Look at the ceiling.
And he survives sometimes. You know what? That's fine. Doing that.
Survive sometimes.
No, it survives. Bloody hell! Just play the fucking video.
Bro, I was like,
kung talagang mahal mo siya ay hayaan mo.
It's also interesting how modulation makes such a difference in intent of feelings, right?
100%. It really helps amplify the emotion.
Hayaan mo na lumisan.
What is that called? Vibrato, when it adds the shaky.
Kaya dumiling ako kay batala.
What a freaking atmosphere.
Go on,
Sana hindi na siya luluwa pa.
Do explain why, I mean, if you know, but I would imagine you do. Why, even just the way you articulate or move your mouth as you sing. Is it because our brains recognize that's how you would move your mouth and that's how you would articulate if you were sad?
Yeah.
Is that because our brains kind of just?
Well, yes, you physically you use physical triggers to emulate the emotion, and using the modulation downwards, opening down, it naturally makes you want to tilt your larynx forward. So it's is when I talk about that complaining sound that you make.
Yeah.
The higher you go, the more emotionally gets. You can play with that physical change by mechanics of it without actually being invested in the emotion itself and not having to depend on your mood to actually access those sounds. But yeah, for sure, the modulation in the mouth, it's a huge tool to access the painful or the truthfulness of the emotion that we're trying to get across. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. But actually, just for fun, try it. Try
So
to
what?
say try to say something, a phrase, but down here with your mouth down. You're naturally you
How
want
can you?
to
I've always tried to do that thing. You know how they.
like this. And you naturally want to talk like that too.
I naturally want to talk like that. Doesn't work.
Oh. Yeah. Just tilt your legs.
I can't do it. What the fuck? Come
Don't
on,
cry,
get sad.
bro. Okay, now try what?
Oh, that's so ridiculous.
He's
I can't
really
do
good at it.
There were very popular singers, like singer-songwriters like this, back home. Like, you know, Camila is a good example. Sin Banderas was another example. Where people would consciously listen to them to try and either find some sort of relatability of a heartbreak. And we will break down the lyrics in a second because I'm really interested in what the lyrics is. I'd imagine it has something to do with love interest, maybe the loss of someone, something along those lines. But and these kind of bands did really capture that really well. Something that Michael's being able to do very well, often, like consistently throughout the song. And I think the reason why so many people might resonate to this, and hence why this is so popular, because that's always a question I have. It's like, if something becomes popular, it's not just because
Magic factor.
the internet magic, the algorithm, what gets pushed, what doesn't, but also because it must resonate to people on a human level, on an emotional level.
I agree.
And the one thing that we all have so certain is that we're all going to go through some sort of struggle, loss, or pain, right? That's like literally the only thing that's guaranteed in life. So it's always so interesting to me why songs like this always seem to resonate, and why in nations, for example, nationwide, love songs or slower songs or songs that are a bit more emotional and heartbreaking resonate more with a nation.
That's
like, you know,
right,
in
I
the
agree.
Philippines it seems ballads and just love themed songs seem to be very popular. Even R&B is becoming so popular in the R&B in the Philippines. In other places in Asia, just as an example, like Korea, ballads is also what goes number one most of the time.
Yeah.
Apart from pop, even to some extent, some may argue that ballads are bigger than pop.
Yeah.
In South
Across
Korea.
the generations as well.
Then you get the most sort of like some of the most iconic songs in America. They're ballads.
That's right. Power ballads. Absolutely.
One of the most popular genres apart from reggaeton in South America are
It's
ballads.
boleros, yeah.
You know, it's so it seems because maybe that is the only thing we have guaranteed as the experience of whatever being human is.
Pain.
Is pain, right? Or loss of love. Right? Well, you may not experience love, which I truly hope everyone does.
But the loss.
But the loss of it, maybe the aspiring aspect of it, maybe a dream of love. But that you will experience that one for sure.
I agree. I just would like to emphasize also that it's very difficult to create this heartbroken, vulnerable atmosphere with only two instruments in the room.
Yeah.
And no backing vocalist and no string section, nothing to amplify the emotion, but what he's giving you by himself, on his own. And that is rather impressive.
He's awesome. Big fan.
Nyawit na kanyang maririnig. Ito na muling tingin na dati siyang ginigilig. Ito na huling araw ng mga yakap ko dalik. Ito na.
Oh yeah, he's
So there you
got
saw that.
yeah, he's got fantastic modulation. He knows absolutely what he's doing to amplify that emotion.
To sort of like
100%.
So sort of like a modulation is like a exaggeration of what a feeling. It's an exaggeration of a physical trigger for emotion.
That's right. Well, that's like that's a good way of putting it. But I would think it's like the mechanics of emotion.
Okay.
It's like is like stripping everything black and white before you paint it out for a color. So it is I don't know, it's like getting the skeleton before you put on the body kind of
Right.
thing. So it's like modulation and technique. It's the structure of the song. And in theater, we say that we break into song because there's no other way of expressing emotion. The emotion is so heightened, is so high, is so big
Only music.
that the only way to express it fully would be to break into song.
But also because
It's an amplified feeling of
it's like an exaggeration
emotion.
of I mean, exaggeration might be the wrong word because it's for some reason it feels like it's a negative thing, right? Because excess, because of
Yeah.
the word excess. But yeah, it's sort of like
An
a way
amplifier.
amplified version of
emotion
interaction between emotion and communication,
understanding.
right?
Yeah. Understanding of emotion itself, yeah. But yeah, he really has it down. Like, look at that great tongue positioning.
Well, if you-
Creates so much resonance at the back.
you were to show
Allows
that-
for the larynx. Allows for the larynx to really tilt forward.
So his tongue goes like that, like the
Yeah,
is
there's
that,
like
that's
a
the
little
slide thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you were to show that picture to someone, anyone really, maybe someone that doesn't know anything about singing, just someone who listens to music, they will still be able to feel and because that moment's captured there as you know, an emotional moment.
That's
so.
right. That's right.
Sabi nga ng iba.
The collab.
That would be a great collaboration.
Wow.
I would love, maybe do let us know. I'd love to watch Michael sort of like live, in a.
Like a festival type of setting, like a live stage.
That would be brilliant because also
Big
that
crowd.
those type of what would you call them? Yeah, just vocal tendencies. He's got are very resonant with people in a live environment.
They really get you going. Let me tell you, singer-songwriters like this, with this really open, emotional communication of any song. Like, I don't even need to know the lyricism per se
Which is
to actually
odd,
be
right?
able to connect to the emotion in the moment. If I saw this live in a huge stage, I'll be like, yes, bro, sing it, you know?
Which is very odd,
Get
isn't
me
it?
the tequila. And that's the beauty about music overall. Like, there's no nation, there is no right way of singing. It's just emotion and connection in the moment.
Just
And
music.
it's just so magical, isn't it? Sorry, I just got real emotional there.
No, but it is odd that all of a sudden, yeah, that music really does have this capability, and performances like these have this,
It's like an open door to emotion
yeah.
and relatability, regardless of what he actually is trying to communicate. Obviously, the whole storytelling is amplified once you understand the lyricism behind it, which is an art form of its own. But the raw first impression environment is just so there. You know, it's so accessible for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There's no substitute. There's no substitute for lyricism. Like that it will add immense value to it, and to this experience it will. But when you're in such a peculiar situation as we are, or maybe some of you watching who may not understand the language, it's really captivating to me how what we don't have in common, which are kind of like I'd imagine more simplistic things like language and lyrics and words and dialects, but we can connect on the complexity of the existence of being a human.
Which is even harder. Who
Right.
would have thought?
So it seems for every commonality we have, for every commonality we don't have in common, we're able to find commonalities and complexities.
That we wouldn't think we have in common.
Yeah, in complexities of
Just
being
being
human.
human.
Like emotions. That's fucking complex, dude. No one even understands what the hell emotions
I
are.
agree.
You know?
It's fantastic. That's why when logic stops making sense to me, it's just magic, and you shouldn't question it. That's the way it should be. You know, like when it comes to this moments, magical moments like this, that why question it? Enjoy it. You
Yes.
know.
Dahil sa'yo, dahil sa'yo.
Oh, bro, don't cry.
Ikaw na pala
Oh, he's actually gonna cry.
ang may-ari ng damdamin na minamahal ko.
Oh, this is risen exposure pressure to pain.
Pakisabing dalang
I would love to hear how he writes.
That is so tender.
na wag na mag-alala at okay lang ako.
Bro, that emotion is so raw.
Real.
Ito na ang muling awit.
Well done for keeping it together. Wow.
Maririnig. Ito na ang muling tingin na dati kang
Well done, dude.
kinikilig.
This is impressive.
Huling araw ng mga yakap ko talik. Ito na.
Big fan, dude. I love his voice.
Ito na. Ingatan mo siya.
Wish exclusive.
Holy
on Wish
shit, dude.
1075.
Oh my god, bro, you nearly
Look.
broke though.
I mean, go back. Just go back and look at that photo.
On Wish
Pause.
1075.
I mean, that's a broken man, dude.
This right here for me. That's it. That's the look.
God, brother.
Who broke your heart?
Jesus Christ.
Who did that?
But what a great example again. I mean, we've had a few people on the channel
No, my hats off, bro. Hats off.
of that are really able to captivate emotions. I mean, someone we just spoke to, Jada. She's fairly young, and that also makes it impressive, even more impressive in its own right, because age, it's to some extent a good teacher. Experience is a good teacher. Some may say the best teacher. So to be able to see her captivate and capture those emotions raw, it's very impressive. But to see so many artists that are able to do that, it's very scary. And he seems to do it in a very peculiar way, because I think that was very recent. Whatever the hell happened, that was very recent.
I was gonna say that wound right there that we're looking at is literally cut open and bleeding. There's no that is true, honest pain, and there was no technicality that could access that type of genuinity. Honestly, there is no magic recipe for genuinity. You can come close to genuinity, but it's never the real deal until you're in it, right? Until you're actually invested in the emotion. But can I just also say that is so hard once your larynx are tilted forward because of the sound effect that you're trying to. Why are you crying?
It's very nice. I'm not crying. It's just very nice.
Your eyes are watering.
I don't cry. I push it down, turn it into anger, mate. What are you talking about? But the lyrics are they're lovely.
Well, just let me put this across, because I thought that was like Olympics type of like leveled stuff. When your larynx are tilted forward and you're singing for an amount of time with that setting on, and your emotional actually triggers inside of you, pulling back the tears and maintaining vocal capability and stability throughout the song, it's so very difficult. Actually, it's kind of painful, because your larynx become really tilted forward, and you know when people say, "Oh, it's like I have a knot in my throat,"
Because
when you're crying, because you're
preventing
larynx,
a release.
but your larynx expand inside, and that creates a really that uncomfortable, like, oh, my air flow is.
So
like,
then what people do, like that.
yeah, I guess, but
Right.
no, it gives you that urge to swallow, because you
Right.
want to push down that pressure that creates that up here in your
And then
larynx.
the only way to kind of get rid of that knot is by crying. Why?
Or breathing really hard and holding it.
Right. Well,
But he
you might have to
pulled
do
it back
that
so
shit
well.
while you listen to
Okay,
this. So
okay.
the lyrics begin, "So you are the one who owns the feelings of the one I love." But this is so wrong. Fuck. And he says, "Please tell her not to worry anymore, and I'm fine. Other people said if you truly love someone, you'd let her say goodbye."
No!
Listen to this.
We're having another Baubaja moment here.
You'd let her leave. So I wish to God that she will no longer cry, that she will no longer be alone, that she, and then he goes further on, "take care of her. She pushed me aside because of you. Love has lost all its worth that I'm completing for so long, that I didn't give up so easily. She pushed me aside because of you. I told you it was going to be a loss or something. This will be the final
I'm
song.
sweating.
Oh, fuck. This will be the final song she'll hear. This will be the last glance that she was thrilled on. This will be the end of my hugs and kisses. This is it. Other people said if you truly love someone, you'd let her say goodbye, let them leave. And then he goes on to say, take care of her. She pushed me aside because of you. Love has lost all of its worth that I'm completing for so long. And then the song repeats itself. That is so rough. Dude, that sentence there where he says, so I wish to God that she will no longer cry, that she will no longer be alone, that she... Fuck!
Bro!
I mean,
That
I
is
do
true
apologize.
love.
I'm not trying to make it funny. It's just the only way I cope with emotions. It's like comedy.
Comedy.
When I'm scared or when I want to cry. Comedy.
Band-Aid.
Some may say,
Open flesh wound, Efra.
some may say, or
Comedy.
many books I've read say that it's the incorrect way of doing it.
Yes.
I say to those books, go do one.
I think this song is literally... It's so painful. It's so painful to hear. It's so painful lyrically speaking as well. I mean, I have an...
Yeah, me too, dog.
I mean, who has the courage, you know? The courage.
Do that, dude. And then look like that, dude. Come on, man.
No.
Props to Michael.
The courage to write a song like that, put it out there
So
and
personal.
say, yeah, and say, you know what? This is my letter to the next guy. Ouch, bro.
Not to the guy that took you from me.
Even more painful. It's like opening a wound, and every single time that you sing this song, you're gonna be freaking reminded of how the story went, and that you weren't the prince in the shining armor and the white horse rescuing your princess. Somebody else took her. Bro, what a freaking song.
That's rough. Well, let us know what your thoughts about it.
Great composition as well, musically speaking. I mean,
It's brilliant. It's a great song. I'd love to hear more from him, for the love of God and everything
Me
that's
too.
good. I want to hear...
I hope you are okay now, friend.
Yeah, I want to hear more from him. What else has he written? What other songs has he released? More than happy to do so. Let us know in the comments below. This
And
was awesome.
anyone who's heartbroken out there, stay strong. We can do this.
Yeah.